Yo, what is up guys, MrPantaloons here with the Opera Omnia Sabin event banner. So we have the Sabin banner right here. We got Sabin 35 CP and 15 CP. We got Wall 15 CP and 35 CP. And then we have Rem 15 CP. We can go ahead and see the draw info right here. Enhancement, Survivor Edges, Kaiser Knuckles, Flame Sword, and Burning Fist. There we go. So how good is this banner? Let's analyze it real quick. So honestly, this banner is pretty much a skip for me, and it's not very worth it to pull on this banner, and let's go ahead and find out why that is. So starting with Sabin right off the bat, he's a black crystal color. He uses a fist as his weapon of choice. His command abilities, he's got Aura Cannon and Aerial Slash. He's got quite a few uses on both of those. Aura Cannon, 2-hit Holy Brave Magic Attack plus HP, extra damage to ghost types, and then Aerial Slash, Group Wind, Brave Magic Attack, extra damage to ghost types again. Now, at the first look, this looks decent. He's got Brave plus HP, he also has AoE. Unfortunately, the values on these two skills are not that high. He doesn't deal that much damage. He really needs to be able to hit ghost types in order for him to get that extra damage, and obviously there aren't many ghost types in the game, so this is pretty much lackluster in terms of what he can do, at least right now with his level 50. Going ahead with his passive abilities here, his level 50 slightly raised brave damage of abilities that are at one use left, which seems kind of lackluster again. You only get a slight raise in brave damage for one use of each ability, so for 2 uses basically you get slightly more brave damage for 20 CP cost. That is pretty crazy. That is very lackluster in my opinion. We can also see his gear here. Tiger Mask, HP and attack, that one's decent. 15 CP, increased Aura Cannon potency and lowered action delay. Nothing too special there. Burning Fist, 35 CP, increased potency of Aerial Slash, grants small max brave up for 4 turns. That one is decent, but again, nothing too special there either. You just get some potency and a small max brave up for 4 turns, which could be useful, but all in all, he doesn't really gain much in terms of his gear. And then his artifact passes, you get Mighty Aura Cannon, Mighty Aerial Slash, even buffed attack, raise attack power while buffed. So he actually has a few options in terms of artifact passives. And then let's go ahead with Warrior of Light. But I guess Sabin, so again, he doesn't really do much with his level 50, unfortunately. His weapons are fairly lackluster. His level 50 passive, not very useful. His command abilities, you need that extra damage for the ghosts. So all in all, he doesn't look too great at the moment, unfortunately. Moving on to Warrior of Light, we probably already know our main tutorial boy right here, Warrior of Light. He's got that white crystal, we don't really need to go through that. He's got the Shining Shield, he's got the Throw Buckler. We know that he can put that shield on whoever we want, and he's especially good with his Enhancer, his 15 CP. Then with the Throw Buckler we can draw the target, we can taunt for 5 turns on an enemy, and he also has a high turn rate which allows you to potentially do 2 moves before the enemy acts. So what you can do is you can throw a buckler and then you can Shining Shield or whatever else you want, and obviously Shining Shield also gives a shield that scales with your initial bravery. So the more initial bravery your wall has, the more he will be able to shield for, and he does have quite a few uses. Now in terms of his passive abilities, his level 50 passive is actually really good. Slightly raised initial bravery, max bravery, attack power and defense power if HP is maxed when the final battle starts. So for the final battle you are most likely to have all these boosts, which are obviously going to be very useful for your Warrior of Light. Then his gear list, we can see his Crystal Shield, not the best, but it kind of suits him because he needs that initial bravery, and obviously the defense will also be nice because you always taunt. So actually these here are going to kind of work for him as a tank. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really need tanks too much, so there we have it. Then he has his max brave on this one, defense on his 4-star as well. Then his 15 CP enhancer raise target bravery by half of initial bravery when Shining Shield is used, so that obviously helps quite a bit, gives him a bit of oomph on that Shining Shield. You get some more bravery on your target, which is really nice. And then his 35 CP increased potency of throw buckler grants small initial bravery up, which obviously is going to synergize with your Shining Shield and with your 15 CP passive right here. And then you get debuff evasion rate up for 3 turns, which this one is interesting. I don't know how useful it's going to be, but I guess it will have his uses here and there. Not quite sure how useful this is going to be. Probably not that useful in my opinion. And then we can see his EX, but obviously we don't have his EX right now. And then in terms of artifact passives, he does have the class change boost, which seems pretty nice. He also has the mighty throw buckler, and then the bravery Shining Shield. Probably not that good. Raise bravery of initial bravery. That's not gonna do much for you, but you have the class change and the mighty throw buckler. So Warrior of Light, he is good in what he does in being a tank. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really require you to have a tank right now. Good news is, with his level 60 and especially with his EX weapon, Warrior of Light actually becomes fairly useful because he gets a brave plus HP on his throw buckler with his level 60. And let's see, I don't see it shown in here, which is interesting. Passive ability. Moderately raise potency of throw buckler and turns it into an HP attack. So there we go. With his level 60, his throw buckler is actually going to be very nice because you can taunt, you can deal damage, you can gain an extra turn due to it being very fast, and you can also shield. So Warrior of Light will get much more useful as time progresses. Right now he is a good character, but he's not an amazing character. Played him for the co-op as well. He did alright. I do have an MLB enhancer, but I would probably still play someone else even without the synergy. Warrior of Light, just he doesn't really do too much in co-op, unfortunately. And then finally Rem. There's not too much to talk about Rem, mainly because we don't have her 35 CP yet, right? So with her 15 CP, she is obviously not going to be as good as she can be compared to some of these other characters that already have their 35 CP. But I guess we can go real quick through her abilities and stuff. So she does have the cure, recovers small amount of HP plus additional HP based on caster attack. That can have its uses whenever you need that HP. And then swap turns, give own turn to ally, gain bravery based on attack, high turn rate. That also has its niche where you can swap the turn for someone that you need right before the enemy gets to attack or whatever it's going to do, just to involve some more strategy in there, take advantage of what is going on in the battlefield. Now her level 50, if we take a real quick look here, upon recovering HP, if the healing amount exceeds max HP, 50% of the excess is divided amongst allies. Healing value is limited to 10% of each target's max HP. So you get more HP with her level 50, which synergizes with her cure, obviously. So that is useful when you do need that healing potential. Now in terms of her gear list, I can see her circlet, you get that attack, that is nice, magic master, initial bravery and max bravery. I'm not quite sure how much she needs either of those, so I can't really tell which one is the best. Max brave on this one. Survival edge, increased cure potency, which again, it's just the heal, not much else there. And then the Kerula dagger, this was the summoning weapon that we did have with the Shiva summoning event. Unfortunately, this weapon seems very lackluster to me. It doesn't seem... It's very underwhelming, right? Turns Rem Brave Attack to Ice Elemental Magic Brave Attack, and that's it. And that passive costs 20 CP. I feel like it's too much to ask for such a low level passive in my opinion. It doesn't really do much for you, but I guess it's an extra passive that she can have, although you're probably not going to be able to use just because it costs 20 CP. 35, don't have that one unfortunately. Artifact passives, Bravery Swap turns, Bravery Cure. I actually don't know what her best passives are. Raise Bravery by initial Bravery after using Cure doesn't sound too good. This one doesn't sound too good either. Raise Speed by 10% after breaking. Raise Attack Power when Bravery. Yeah, these look pretty awkward to me. And again, since she is only 15 CP, I didn't really bother to look too in depth for her because she's just not going to do that great unfortunately. Although her cure is nice, there are other characters that heal much better than her, such as Aiko, and you know, Rem, she just doesn't really fit into the game right now with her current skill set. I do know that with her level 60 and her 35 she becomes significantly better, one of the best supports in the game in terms of healing. So that is there pretty much. And we can also see in on the Japan ranking tier list. So first off, the tier list from mid-March or end of March, we can see that Rem, she is indeed rated very high, 91 points. And then Warrior of Light with his level 60, with his EX weapon, he is at 92 points, so he does really well. And then Sabin, he is actually very low. Let's see, he is at 63, mainly because he is still not level 60. But with his level 60, if we look at the current ranking list, we can see that Warrior of Light, he still maintains quite strong. He's at 88. Rem, let's see, where is Rem? She is probably down here somewhere, but we can actually see Sabin, he goes up to 87 with his level 60, so he should be pretty good once he gets his level 60. Unfortunately, as you saw on the March here, he still didn't have it, so he got it fairly late in Japan, and if we follow the same trend, we are gonna get it late in global as well. So if you decide to play with Sabin, you are going to have to wait quite a long time for him to get his level 60, and I believe that is going to be a pretty, you know, that's not gonna be good for him. It's a very big detriment for him. And let me see if we can find Rem. There we go. So Rem, she actually fell quite a bit, down to 82 points. I guess the meta shifted quite a bit. We got some more supports in here who are just better, or who do things that are more useful than what Rem does, but she is still fairly good even at 82. But again, we need her level 60, we need her 35 CP, which we do not have yet in global, so we still need to wait quite a bit for Rem either way. And in the end, I want to do a simulation of a gacha pull on this banner. Obviously, if I would pull on this banner, I would go for 15k gems, a maximum of 15k gems, and hope to get a 35 CP weapon. Honestly, I would rather go for the wall, but that is especially good for my account because I have MLB Enhancer already, so getting the 35 CP for wall would help him out tremendously, because then I can sell the enhancer, get 4 power stones, boom, put those power stones into the flame sword. He gets the passive from the 15 CP, and then he gets a lot of stat boost from the 35 CP plus the added passive as well. And Sabin, as I said, not really interested in him. He seems pretty underwhelming. Haven't seen him in play yet either. I did play 5 matches of co-op, haven't seen him at all, so I don't know if he at least has the cool factor. I'm hoping he does, but other than that, he doesn't seem like a character that I want to go for. And obviously Rem, not interested, just because she does not have her 35 CP. So on this banner, I really don't like any of these characters, but maybe Wool, maybe, but it's a very unlikely maybe. So I wouldn't really recommend pulling on this banner, and the co-op is quite easy as well. You can do it with some of the other characters. You can even go ahead and pull on this banner and use Seymour or Terra, and you'll do just fine. You don't need to pull on this banner at all. But let's go ahead and simulate the 3 pulls, or up to 3 pulls, and see what we get. So ideally we would want Warrior of Light 35 CP or Sabin 35 CP, and look at that, boom, we pulled 5k, we got 15 CP Zell, the Maverick, and we got the Wool 35 CP, and I would stop right here. So all in all, this would have been a pretty amazing pull. Not only did we get the 35 CP, we also got another 5-star weapon in there, which is a nice little bonus, and then we got a bunch of 4 stars as well, which, you know, still pretty decent. You kind of want those 4 stars, especially for some of these passives. Some of them have really nice passives, like the Shinra Beta. You get a pretty nice boost of HP that I actually use on my Cloud, so you know, sometimes you can get some really nice passives. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this banner. Are you going to pull? Are you going to skip it? If you're going to pull, I wish you the best of luck to pull your 35 CP, your favorite 35 CP, or your preferred 35 CP, I should say, as fast as possible, and hopefully not use too many gems. But there you go, guys. I shall see you in the next video. Until then, have a good one and take care.